Alright, so, without further ado, good evening and welcome. Again, my apologies for the delay, but it is what it is. Going over the quick roll call and recap. Joe,
I'm here.
Kotark,
I'm here.
Sarah,
I'm here.
Union,
I'm Union.
Arson, and Tempest.
Trying not to blow away. There's a system moving through, and it.
Yeah,
The walls of the RV don't.
don't lead a whole lot to confidence.
More. I hear a lot of wind outside.
So, where we last left off, the party, having returned to Ellswood's tower, found the Archmage Ellswood missing. Proceeded to be told, hey, go rummage through his artifact room. Hey, fair warning, it's cursed by Ellswood's husband, Everflame, who you guys rescued from the far frigid north of Emergia. After putting on a possessed ring, a Yakety Sax scenario outplayed where disarmament was on the table for Arson's actual arm. But with punitive use of grappling, tackling, and just raw physical force, Union and Sarah gathered it up with some assistance from a holy prayer to Lathander that may or may not have made the oncoming fight they returned back to of 15 plate mail clad individuals, as well as a familiar face to Kotark, one Set, another icy Genasi, desperately asking for an artifact that, other than Joe, no one else is aware Kotark is currently in possession of, but was very insistent and demanding for it. An unknown individual, which eventually was called out to be a lich, leaving a delayed blast fireball smoldering both the mercenary forces as well as a sizable amount of the party's health. Before being thrown off the property by Everflame. Shet, in his panic, said something in Primordial that those who can speak Primordial are able to scroll up and read. I'm still upset because Union never actually responded to the awesome Union and Sarah specific whisper because he complained that he didn't get a whisper.
I ain't get a whisper.
Yes, you did.
Shit.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yep.
And Ridra has amazing commentary as well.
Yep. This is what you missed when you were falling asleep at the keyboard.
It was
But that is where we left off with Everflame very quickly going over. He is 99.98% sure, or something to that effect. I believe Joe has the exact notes. No, Sarah has the exact notes because he said he didn't want to repeat himself. She said she'd take notes.
98% sure.
Yeah. So she can then fill in Kotark whenever Kotark returns to the party, having taken the suicided body of Shet out to dispose of with a little bit of remorse. That is where we pick up. Everyone except Kotark is currently in the library room of the tower, looking over maps of Kranash. I don't currently have a cutout map of Kranash uploaded and all that happy stuff because your DM's an absolute piece of shit and didn't do any prep work. Something to that effect.
Okay.
I really hope beyond hope. No, it's plugged in. Why is interesting? Sure hope the roomies weren't trying to use the internet, because apparently I had unplugged the router at some point.
Oh.
I'm hardlining straight to the modem, because of course I am. Yeah, so as you are, or what have you, y'all have the floor.
So what's the plan? Go after this after some rest?
Yeah.
I think that sounds proper.
Alright, then I'm gonna go find somewhere quiet to rest.
Indeed.
And if I see Go check it out tonight, I'll just fill him in on everything.
Alrighty.
I would definitely like to finish attuning to my special armor.
Same with my sword.
Duly noted.
Hey guys, I'm gonna put the this ring on that I found.
I stab Arson.
Let's do ant ring.
I'm kidding. I don't actually touch it.
No?
No.
No, I feel like you should.
No.
Come on. What's the best that could happen?
Fair question.
Yeah, but not what I know the answer to, thus I'm not going to. Still not putting the ring on.
Okay. Sorry, I'm also like tech supporting, trying to figure out why the router's not sending out Wi-Fi signal.
Right.
During, like, the rest, after they attune, I would go try to talk to Sarah. Just sit down next to her. Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for having your girlfriend tag me with a whip.
You act like I have any control over her.
That is a very valid
Yep, all the control.
Out of character, yes, but that's beside the point. But, I know what you did with the, light.
That makes one of us.
Well, it's obvious it was holy. And I've noticed, your holy symbol is no longer, in my pocket.
I will give it back to him.
No, it is yours.
I will still try to give it back.
I will continue to refuse it. Keep it. I think you're closer to, what you think.
I'm not sure if that's what I want.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to keep your, options open.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Besides, is he not the god of, rebirth?
You're a good guy, Arson.
You're a good person too, Sarah.
Well,
No matter what other people say.
What
That
other
came
people?
that came out wrong.
Wow.
Let me
Everyone
try
else
to
shit talks you, but I know you're a good person. Really, I don't believe all those hideous,
the thought in my
hateful
head,
lies that other people tell about you,
the
Sarah.
thought in my head exploded as I was speaking.
Let's be honest, it's mainly Tempest.
Yeah. But rewind about 5 seconds.
Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
Nope.
You are a good person, and I think you are starting to see that as well. I know what self-doubt looks like.
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess.
That we will. Just keep listening to your heart. And if you need anybody to talk to, I'm right here.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it.
Now I'm going to go rub my eyes for like the next hour. Still seeing stars.
I'm gonna figure out what this sword does.
I said after you were attuned.
Oh.
But yes, I will. And then I will go and get my rest. So we gave the GM time to switch the map.
I'm typing.
Type, type, type. Ah, Brotark. We hardly knew ye.
I'll say, yeah, Joe's just like sitting right there on the corner, just.
Just staring.
So, after we rest, we're planning on going to visit with the Lich, right?
I believe so.
I think that's our best
'Cause,
option.
I mean,
Yeah.
In the desert.
Yeah.
in the desert,
Yes.
and we're positive it wasn't the Lich that was outside.
Oh, are you asking
Or the
Everflame?
lich that was in the sea.
Because
I'm assuming Ellswood is here.
Everflame is, and he made it
Everflame,
clear
good
that that
to
was
know.
not the lich you guys are looking for.
So there's more than one.
I personally know about 6 different liches, but that's one I've never met.
So there's at least 7.
Would be the case.
Brotark's the lich.
No, the guy who made the delayed blast fireball.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
And I mean, is there any signs that like Ellswood was taken or anything? Or is he just gone?
You did come to the study. It looked like, or at least his defender golem is all busted up and beat the shit. So there are definitely signs of struggle and combat.
Okay. you guys take your rest, I'll walk around the tower here, see if I can figure out anything. Does he have like his own private chambers? I'm assuming Ellswood did. It's like his own.
His study, which was attempted to be entered through the window by your companions the other just yesterday, was I don't actually know how to enter it personally. You know, his private sanctum and all. But if I had to guess, it'd be somewhere here within the main course of transit from one portion of the tower to another.
Definitely should be.
I mean, each of these halls do lead somewhere.
Yeah, I definitely will be wandering around, seeing what I can find in the tower. You know, strictly for the purposes of trying to figure out what happened to Ellsworth, obviously.
Alright, so, you are attempting to find his study? My assessment? While everyone is resting?
Yes, his personal sanctum, as you referred to it.
Give me a investigation, intelligence, please.
Um, isn't investigation always intelligence?
By default, I believe it is, but just...
I believe so. Oh, that actually rolled nicely.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you are making your way, working around the walls where each of the rooms, as you know it, the library, the artifact room, the teleportation chamber, and the stairs actually leading out and down, you do begin to note a pattern of glyphs between the artifact room and the teleport chamber that does not appear to be on any other wall.
Okay.
With a 22, you're almost absolutely certain that these are a form of lock, sort of a key code entry sort of thing.
Mm. Key code, you say?
They do.
Well, I will attempt to decipher it. What do you want?
Depends on how you plan to try and decipher it. Do you plan to try and brute force it?
No, I don't want to brute force it. I want to see if I can discern the way to unlock it, basically.
Okay. So that
Yep.
would be Arcana.
Yep. that's not gonna be a good one.
Yeah, not able to make heads or tails for the better part of 30, 40 minutes. Um, yeah, that's just a failure by large, basically.
Yeah.
Which you are fairly certain, as you were attempting to figure it out, you triggered an alarm spell.
Okay.
Now, what good that does, you don't know.
Right. Since I know I triggered an alarm spell, I want to basically do the exact same thing again and see if I trigger another alarm spell.
Alrighty. So we have resorted to brute forcing. Repetition of action.
Well, yeah, but I'm not trying to solve it. I'm literally seeing if I can set off the alarm spell again.
Okay. Just give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Straight up intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alright.
That was close to a 1.
That one was, yeah. That's the way 19 works.
Yep. Alright. Following the exact procedure you did before, you do not set off another alarm spell.
Okay. A little disappointed. Alright, then I'll go back to try and figuring it out again.
Alright.
Which another No, wait.
Arcana.
Of course, I'm gonna roll low again. No, that's not horrible, but
You are beginning to piece the puzzle together, so to speak, but the function of the lock is still eluding you. Well, not the function, the method behind the lock.
gotcha. Well, my intent is to continue to work on this until they get done with their long rest, or
Yeah. Success or cataclysmic
figure it out.
failure.
Yep.
Okay. Just give me a raw d20 at the end of their rest.
Raw d20. Okay, that might be trickier. Well, I could just hit a button again. I'm clicking my sheet from across the
Okay. Yeah, just I'll mouse over whatever you roll.
room. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could just do an intelligence check. That's a raw d20.
Yeah, that would be true. That would be a raw d20 again.
Okay. The glyphs fade from your view entirely. As your party begins to stir and rouse themselves from the various nooks and crannies that they've tucked away in.
Okay. Then I assume we're ready to go. Nothing else to see here.
Grabbing lesser restoration for no reason today.
No reason at all.
None.
Ignore the man behind the curtains. He's saying something. There we go. Alrighty. I do have a write up going to you. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out why my write
No
up's
worries.
not working. While typing, while picking locks, and yada yada yada. Alright, so you're all awoken again to Joe stepping away from a wall with insert his choice of emotion here. And Everflame popping out from his little manor door. Because far be it from him to not sleep in a nice comfy bed. And see him at the teleportation chamber in the midst of churning a few what looks to be like runic pillars. Finger wagglers, you're pretty sure he's basically just aligning the gate spell.
Gate or
The
transportation circle?
the circle, kids.
Okay, I was about to be very impressed.
My brain went to Stargate, and so gate just came out.
Fair.
Well, what should we expect in Kernesh?
Where we should be landing in Kranesh. Again, I have not been there in well, it's been a while, as we have often been saying now since I have joined your company. We likely will not be going to Icton, the capital, if we can help it, but more closer to. I don't know if that city's even still there. Probably swept away by the sands by now. Long story short, much sand. And if you're lucky, tolerable winds. But knowing the luck I have witnessed so far, you may want to hold your cloaks close.
Alright, noted.
Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and myself makes 7. Are you going to attempt to bring any of the mounts through?
You mean the ones that are left?
I mean,
I couldn't summon Elvis when we arrive.
I just need to know
No.
how much of the arcane stores I will be taking, burdening, so to speak.
Don't think we'll be taking any with us.
Seems right.
Wonderful. Does ease things quite a bit. So we will set it for 7 creatures. Where is that action from that quarter? Alright guys, good old guild tech in the background. Ignore the man behind the curtains.
No.
take 500 psychic damage.
Ew.
Should have ignored the man behind the curtains. Just 1 second to try and plug this in. Because it'll be the last bit of troubleshooting. Because this is my support laptop for pulling up the character information that I'm currently running without. Alright. Jen, careful now, careful. Alright. So, stepping into the circle, as noted and prepared. Need to take Duke out. Duly noted.
Well, the trash cans just fell over.
Oh, that's not good.
I just heard a big boom.
I think you got the song we had yesterday.
Probably.
Alright. We'll finish filling with that, and let's just hope I can win it. Alright. So, gathering your party and getting into the transportation circle, the teleportation circle, the magic happy circle of get the fuck where you need to go and continue the plot moving along circle. Everflame sets in place the final sigil. There you can already see a creeping cold begin to work its way across the chamber as you find yourselves now standing in a blink under a open sky on a four-sided pyramid with a nice flat top. You can see as the arcane energy settles back into the glyphs. I need con saves from everyone against the cold of the desert at night.
Oh, that checks out.
Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you,
plus like-
Nora.
Yeah, plus like $1 million on that.
That's Arsons. And this is Tempest.
Oh, if there was a union or that's 28.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, 28 club.
17 on mine, so.
We're just gonna all right. Joe makes it. So it's a shock as you're coming from a nice control, basically climate controlled room to suddenly seeing your breath frigid cold. The night sky is completely blackened. No, not a sign or speck of starlight, moonlight, what have you. Though our perception crew, 15 up, which I believe is everyone again except poor Joe and Tempest,
A Union.
Except Joe and Tempest. So that's Gotark, Sarah, Union, Arson.
So all the
I-
players who are here right now.
Yeah, 15 up.
Union literally got a 13.
No,
No,
perception.
perception.
Your passive perception.
Oh, okay.
No, as I said, you everyone made it. Fortunately, you're not dealing with effectively magic cold that you were dealing with in Mergia. This is natural, and fortunately, you were able to steel yourself against it. How long that will last, Union, is questionable. The rest of the party is like, wait, bodies are still kind of acclimated to this.
Yeah.
But the four of you will note what looks like a slow swirling pattern in the night sky. It's from where you are barely a blip on the visual radar.
No. Nudge Everflame and point at it. That doesn't look normal, does it? Point at the swirling pattern.
I mean, considering it's the middle of the day, none of this looks normal.
Yeah, but that wasn't there before.
He rolled up 2.
Fair, but I'm pointing right at it.
He can't fucking see it.
Oh.
Like, he's trying. He's like,
Yeah.
you gotta understand, my eyes have, they've suffered quite a bit.
Understandable. Yes, understandable.
But I'm assuming that something quite nasty is skyward, and hence we should be on our way.
There's a spiral in the sky.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just.
Curious if that's by chance a font.
Hmm?
Curious if that's by chance a font.
This does not seem similar to the fonts you, but you, like, they're, like, distinctly visible. This is part of the sky itself. Or something beyond the sky. And just so sizable it is noticeable. He, hikes up his bag and just, wish there was something I could do about it, but we've got at least a 2-day hike. Shorter if we can make good time.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's try to make good time.
He clearly tries to set a pretty heavy pace. It's obvious to a lot of you that he is absolutely unbothered by the cold. Something about he has his cheater's lantern.
There.
Yeah.
What, he's hugging it this time?
Well, it's hanging off of his pack. So unless you're like hugging up with him, which isn't hard because again, dwarf base movement is slower than everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Put the wizard in the middle.
I'll sit kind of close to the front.
So if memory is serving, I'll note these dunes are far different than they were in my youth. Oh, good times, good times. Should you survive, I highly recommend visiting the capital. The Tapaxi there run a fantastic Dungeoneer program. They call it something far more fanciful than that, but let's be honest, that's all we care about. Arson is typing. Poor Arson.
As they're walking, Union would attempt to summon Elquis.
Okay. Because you didn't like uncast a spell, so you basically just have him in Pokeball, so it doesn't require a check.
Great. Yeah, Union would.
Literally, you're like pointing vaguely where you think he is, and yoinking him from all the way at the tower, and just appears next to you, which is very unsettling because That's
Yeah,
in the middle of the
Elk.
party, and suddenly Elk, who you realize has a real fun time on the sand.
Oh, hello, bud. Union pats Elvis on the nose.
Look down. Why am I sinking? Why am I sinking? What is this?
Uh, all right. Well, now we need to take care of my elk. Come on, everyone.
No, you need
He's
to
not.
take
He's
care
not
of
like
your own.
aggressively sinking. He just was not prepared for the unsteady terrain because you were miles and
Good
miles away. I
God.
didn't warn him. But he will eventually right himself, and you all witness Elphus giving Union a look that he's not insightful enough to know is not exactly pleasure. But Kotark and Arson know that's like, look, dog, we're gonna need to talk about this contract.
I will get you some sugar cubes when we reach civilization.
Never, I demand apples.
Caramel apples.
This is acceptable.
I will get you a caramel apple. I promise this. No. Onward.
Your word is your bond, Paladin. Lowers his head so you can mount.
Union will mount Elvis. Look this.
Wait, when did Hall's cat get here, and why are you mounting him? This just got really weird. Yeah. Fortunately, you got a nice high vantage point, which helps decently. Though outside of your range of dark vision, for those who have it, which again I think is everyone but Tempest offhead, maybe Sarah.
I can use light though.
Yeah, it's outside of said range is the note. It is almost pitch black.
Oh, I do have dark vision.
Okay. The statement stands. I think that means only Tempest. I think
I will.
Kotark, you
make
have
a
you have
light.
a form of. Am I this right? Okay, yeah.
I will cast light as many times as it takes to get it to stick for a light
Yeah.
cantrip. There.
What are you casting it on?
I'll just on my shield.
Okay. So there is a long cast arson shadow put on the opposite side of his shield. As he makes you all a beacon of light in the otherwise pitch black desert.
How far does the light extend?
Basic light cantrip was that 2020?
2020. Yeah.
Also asking for trouble.
But pressing onward, it is either a blessing or a curse how quiet it is. There's no, cricket kind of noises. Insert appropriate insect noise here. You don't even hear the faint, occasional flap of a predatory bird hunting in the night, the infinite night. Occasionally, arson and again we'll say perception squad. You see what you're fairly sure are bleached bones poking out from the sands now and then. Hard to gauge their time without stopping, which you can see Everflame has no intent of doing, and you clearly see him look at some of the bones, shake his head, and keep trucking on.
The normal day in paradise.
Something was in my head.
It was nothing important.
All right then. Let's see, it's been about 4 miles now. We should take a hard. And you see, he naturally looks up. Damn it all. South should be. Would someone like to assist his survival check?
I will assist.
Not showing his modifiers.
I'll take an 8. I'll take a 14 over an 8.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
By my beard, I'm sure it's this way. He's confidently striding in a slightly changed direction.
Well, I'm sure you know the right way then.
I'm hoping so. As I said, these dunes, they've changed drastically. Memory serves, there used to be a village right there. I was hoping to pick up some mounts. That's now a dune. Again, assuming I've read the sands correctly. Not exactly a whole lot of landmarks. But if we hit the woods soon, we'll know we're heading the right way. For the record, you're not where your marker is. You don't know where you're at on the map as of yet.
There.
Can you please get a pair of D100s? For first in, first counted. Okay.
The fastest dice in the West.
No, you're not.
I win.
You didn't even enter.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Whispering's cheating.
Banned.
I used GM
Banned.
roll with this longer. It is longer than the brackets.
What'd you get?
That's for me. That's for me as the
Banned.
GM.
The only one
Glad
banned
when the
here is
sand will make your
Leah.
digging you a grave easier, Arson.
I'm innocent.
The only one banned here is Leah. But anyhow, about another 4 hours goes by. Little incident. Every now and then, Arson, obviously, you gotta tap, kind of flashlight tap the shield.
Yep.
Get it back up and running for
Couple times, just
Tempest.
a couple. Bop, bop.
Yeah, that little like battery shake.
Yeah.
Sound effect included. So
Yep.
do with that as you will, ladies and gentlemen. Before you see what appears to be a oasis, as you like almost fall upon it, you get right up to the edge of the light before you even notice it. The wind being just strong enough to push the scent away, opposing you. You are greeted by a fairly withered but previously idyllic scene of heavily leafed trees that would have cast a great amount of pleasant shade over the now appearing still pool of water that once the light settles upon it is beautifully clear, crystalline. The sand at this point gives way to true and proper earth and dirt, which Elphys is, of course, pleased with. As the bright light, do you halt your approach at all?
I don't plan to.
Okay. So as the bright light falls upon the water, it begins to reflect upwards along the trees, casting a glorious image of a building, golden, with a door wide open. This flowing walkway across the oasis basin.
I will look to Everflame. Do you know anything about this?
Scratching his, his head while his free other hand strokes the beard, and clearly in deep thought, and giving a hard side eye. Possibly the dwelling of one of the desert brokers. Or at least formerly thereof. That's what only thing comes to mind.
Should we leave it be, or shall we carry on? What would your advice be, Sir Dwarf?
My advice would be, you've already got enough on your plate.
Yeah.
World end calamities, my husband missing, and so forth.
Anybody disagree with that advice?
No, it sounds pretty
No.
sound.
If I am correct in my memory, though, they would offer, depending on what you're willing to pay, things nearly as potent as what you found back within my beloved sanctum.
I think one problem at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prudent choice. Also, I would stop your elk from drinking the water if I were you.
Elvis, no.
He's like, just like, oh.
Tempest will make water tonight when we rest.
Union pats Elvis on the head. It's okay, bud.
One little pouty hoof stomp.
I know. 2 caramel apples.
What's wrong with the water?
Consider it something you'd be bargaining for. Assuming this is not just an illusion for illusion's sake, and the act of an oasis trickster. It's not exactly my region of expertise, after all. I am kind of already missing my neighbors.
Let's keep going.
Even the ones that were just exploding trees. But passing the oasis, and Everflame makes the point now, sort of locks in his head where the oasis is. You see him making, as you're walking, giving it a hard, concerned look. Probably press on another couple of hours. Eat, rest legs, stretch. See what tomorrow's winds might bring. We either hit the forest or we hit a river. That's the hope.
All right, then. I say we push on.
I agree.
Alrighty. Anyone assisting the survival check?
I will again.
Okay.
I'm glad I helped.
Okay.
A 9 is better than a 2.
Especially considering you don't know what modifiers he has, if any.
Exactly.
Arson, you were the first to hear at a far distance, well beyond the light, what sounds like the struggling flow of water. Soon, the Everflame seems to pick up the sound of it and marches aggressively in that direction. Guiding whoever is in the vanguard, which I believe is currently Sarah and Union off head top.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And you come, you hear him muttering under his breath, like, "Better be the damned river." And this, since you two are there visually first, with on the edges of your dark vision, you see that it is indeed not a flowing, bountiful river, but a mere, barely what you would consider a creek.
This is not quite what I had in mind.
I wonder, would be the one group of adventurers that doesn't have a bloody druid with them. How else am I supposed to forecast the weather?
I don't know.
Waiting for someone to be offended, and he's just like, "What? As if I have any other use for natural magics?"
Pull Barkin. Cameo.
Just a portal to hell opens up and spits out this construct.
Yep.
Everflame immediately nukes it because, hell construct.
Hell.
Yeah.
Those exist.
Congratulations. Way to die not even your own campaign, Bark.
And Bart just gets blasted back through the portal. They are not friendly there.
No.
They
What
are somehow less friendly than where we are.
what Everflame would nuke something coming out of, again, a hell portal. They're not getting back through. Daily message to Bark: stay away from hell portals.
Again, just after it's useful.
Yep.
That is what Arkin are.
the dying words Bark hears. Thank you, Arca. Bleh.
And then Samuel would just start getting them.
No.
Okay.
Only Bark got through. Oh, start
No,
getting
no.
start getting the
Messages.
messages. Oh Lord.
You can reply to them.
Every time every time Samuel would say demon, so devil.
Correct.
Other way around.
Anyhow.
He would burn every single sending just for that.
Yes, indeed. Anyhow. So one of two possibilities. Either someone rerouted some water at some point to a farm of their own, to either south, north, west, what have you, or this is the river and it hasn't rained for a while.
It is the desert.
Yes, but even the desert gets rain, Union. That's why there are rivers and oases and, the only way people live in the desert. But we should have come across. We should have left the sand by now. Gotten onto true proper ground outside of that oasis. I am terribly sorry. I fear I may have led you astray, my friends. And I'm out of
Well,
sendings.
that's not great.
Lost.
I don't know about lost. Misdirected, absolutely. Maybe more north than west than I had planned. Look, last time I was here, there were stars, alright?
Are there landmarks we can use to determine our location? Is anyone skilled in that area?
As you so avidly pointed out, it's a desert. The stars were the landmarks. Up until you reach the river, which. Again, this could be. Maybe.
Why not follow it?
And which way would you suggest, Deepling?
I could just not help if you feel like being that way.
You can tell he bites back a retort.
Doc, do you have any ideas? Yun says, ignoring the wizard.
I've never been to a desert, so
Also, we don't really know where we're going. Like the direction we're meant to be going.
Do you know he said south?
Okay.
Do we? The river's diminished. Is there still enough to have a determinable current? Like, could we follow the way it's flowing?
You can hear the flow struggling. Like there's water moving, but it's here ankle deep.
Well, we could follow this downstream.
Also, considering we did start to look at maps and such before we left, like, could we determine kind of what direction?
Okay, you don't. You at the party don't know where you landed.
Okay. Like, just a general direction of which way the rivers flow, though.
Give me a nature check.
Okay. Guys, I know we're arguing about the river, but there's something not right. Obviously, but
Not right, Ham.
you know how sometimes like the hairs on the back of your neck start raising?
Yes.
That.
As he says that, 15 crew, same. You feel the hairs on the back of your neck starting to raise.
That's very much not a good sign.
And the lot of you, more hear than see, as it is unfortunate that there is a light spell up affecting dark vision. But more notably, hear a significant amount of sand shift somewhere to the party left, about almost 200-ish feet.
I will immediately drop light.
So, in the hazy, mild adjustment to your dark vision, which is still well out of range, you see a silhouette of something rise and fall, a behemoth of a creature.
Everflame. What creatures?
You always hit you the wrong way. Don't move. Not an inch, not a muscle. That might be a blasted worm. I can outrun it. Ideas, people.
Mage, could you get us out of here?
You can see light.
Fairly certain they're completely blind, aside from vibrations. Hopefully being here along the brook is distracting it from our position enough. The loose sand may be helping, but that is far closer than I had hoped to get to their areas. This, though, puts us just... The hills shouldn't be too far, then. Oh boy, I have truly led us astray.
What kind of worm?
Oh, you know, only big, angry, and purple, most likely.
Okay.
If it's just the one, we may be able to take it. What's
Are they solitary creatures?
They don't fight over territory. If that's what you're asking.
I was asking if they travel in packs.
You can tell he's trying to pick his brain. It's not his area of expertise. Chances are you all might know as much as he does in regards to a purple worm.
What even would that be? Nature? History?
That would be nature.
Shit.
I now.
It's an Alaskan bullworm! Get it! Sounds like we have a Joe return. Or someone else who fiddles with their mic in the same fashion. Must be a little better. Alas. But, first check is whom? Second check is whom? Arson?
Oh no, the first one was the river direction.
Oh, okay.
Second one was for...
Right. You're not sure if you happen to get lucky, but it is flowing from your right to your left, where you're facing it at the moment. But your party has gotten turned around, and no one took that broken feat.
Yeah, fair.
As for your knowledge on worms, you, and I quote, fucking nerd.
Yeah. That Tempest is smarter because of headband.
Yeah. You are fairly certain that these are typically far further underground than this one is breached. They are more than capable of burrowing through solid rock without any trouble. And if this is a full-grown worm, it is well beyond your party's power, though Everflame may skew that in your favor to some degree. But they are not all that smart, and they're not actually all that perceptive.
So, if we are careful, we may be able to sneak away from it. They are not super perceptive. And if it's a full-grown one, I hope you can bring enough fire to the party, Everflame. The pun was on purpose, yes.
You are aware my forte is necromancy?
Yes, but fire. It's literally in your name.
You want to talk? Right.
Yes, but I also use the fire.
So, skill check. Challenge time, ladies and gentlemen. It's everyone's favorite.
Yep.
A party stealth.
Oh, jeez.
Glad I got that mythal armor. It's arson.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh boy.
This is.
Oh boy.
You did roll yours at disadvantage, right? Right, Union?
Yep.
Okay. Did you? I see only 1d20. Interesting.
I'm not sure it can get
For the record,
lower.
I don't. I know it can't get lower, but it would have been hilarious if he double crit failed.
No, hold on.
Not quite.
Not quite.
And it may also burn some good dice out of your order.
Why would you do that to us, fine?
All right. And if someone would be so kind to just roll the d20 for the Joe and Elkvis, there, Arson.
You can.
Yeah. One of you.
I need to figure out what a giant elk's dex mod is.
Well, roll the raw d20 and then find out afterwards.
+3. We cancel each other out.
Elkvis, as always, saving Union's ass.
Elkvis actually gets up on 2 legs, picks Union up like
like a child.
wedding. No, the wedding hold.
Oh, bridal carry.
Yeah, good old bridal carry, and starts tiptoeing across the water. Tip hoofing, excuse me.
I believe it. He's the real MVP of the campaign.
Do we still need the Joe, or
Did Joe's not get rolled yet? Yes, I still
No.
need Joe. It is a full party.
how about not me, so I'm not in control of half the party's stealth?
Sarah, roll me a d20 for Joe, please. Thank you, Sarah.
Mhm.
What a dear. Alrighty. Thankfully, that cancellation really helped. And we will 1d8. All right, 15 crew. You are 98.9% sure that the worm is going in the opposite direction as you sneak away.
All right, good.
Still that 1.1% chance, Sarah.
Hmm.
It erupts from underneath Sarah right as she says good.
Rip.
Just to spite me.
It just takes it. It takes Sarah, and then it just goes.
Scream something about the spice must flow. Sorry, wrong setting. I know.
Remember how the Knowles took Percy's arm in the Vox Machina
Yeah.
one shot? That's what that's the vibe I'm getting right now.
Ah. All right. Several hours go by. You can feel your limbs beginning to tire from the exertion of the rapid pace set by the Archmage. Where he quite unceremoniously just begins to cast his manner, constantly looking over his shoulder, now definitely nervous about what territory he's accidentally led you into. Once inside, he proceeds to march himself into his what is effectively his private study, the library, which he doesn't slam the door or anything of that nature, but you can hear him tossing arcane artificed books onto the table, grumbling under his breath in dwarven curses directed at himself. See, he's not pleased with his performance. The attendees step out to attend you, either taking care of your armor, your clothing, bringing you food, drink.
Once the cursing comes down, I will go and try to assist him as much as I can.
Alrighty. Stepping inside, you can see he has already like shoved off the table a pile of books on cosmology and astral navigation, due to them being currently useless to his endeavors. And currently seems to have a formulatic pattern, trying to figure out just how the sands may have shifted, assuming no interference from third-party sources. Basically, big ass fucking math problem in front of him, and it's nice. You're more than welcome to assist. In fact, this is a challenge for any intellect and investigation trained individuals to join in on, as he is doing his damnedest to plot course.
I won't bring Tempest in for that because she is better than Arson.
Sarah, you poke your head in and you see like floating numbers and like the full-on meme of all the patterns popping up.
Yeah, just a quick look. I'm gonna pass on that.
I assume investigation rolls
Yes.
are needed. Arson will assist Tempest on the roll.
All right. Kodark just hides in a corner. All right, so that is one notable success. And I guess since you are the only two Int characters in the party, you get to keep going.
Second verse, same as the first.
All right. There is far more heavy deliberations on the next part of the patterns, trying to account for heavier winds than normal, changes to the actual moon's positioning, etc. Everflame himself becomes kind of frustrated and steps out of the room, leaving only you two to try and continue at this time.
Okay, I assume third verse, same as first.
Mm-hmm. Once the final pieces of the puzzle, as far as you believe, now being unguided, are put into place, you can see what looks to be a sort of bird's eye illusion. Sure, Kotark. Of what?
As we're in his house.
Yeah, of the region as theoretically it should be. With you can see basically the span of time go by. Villages pop up and go away. Rivers fill dry. And you get a sense, since you now actually can see from where the magic circle, there's the words I was looking for, is positioned in relation to his plotting. You are roughly here.
Oh. And did he give us about where we're going?
So far, all he has said is regards you need to hit a forest or a river, and you'll know you're close. But you are welcome to try and push the illusion further along and see what route it's supposed to plan. This would be at disadvantage, as a note.
Well then.
No, this is at disadvantage. Period.
Oh. Okay.
You are effectively trying to override his spell.
If you had said that before I clicked the button, I would not have done that.
Okay.
I will be happy with the work we have done so far.
He does not return for some time, so there's just the map there, and people can come and look at it as they so desire. Anyone doing anything else during this particular rest?
Mostly just keeping to myself.
Union and Elphus would be scouting the area around the party, keeping watch for threats.
We're in his mansion.
Union and Elphus would be scouting the area around the party.
Just saying. I wasn't sure Union would want to leave.
Union would want to hang out with Elphus.
He notes a lack of caramel apples.
I'm working on it.
Alrighty. That sounds like a Joe.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back. Alright.
Ooh.
Okay, so to catch you up, Joe, there is currently a sort of hologrammed map that has been sussed out the Arson and Tempest, as well as a bit on Everfling's part, putting the sort of expected changes of how the desert should have adapted throughout his from his last visit. What feels like eons ago to him. As he dejectedly continues to berate himself for his getting lost after crossing what appeared, by his definition, to be one of the desert brokers' domiciles, an oasis that the party had passed and decided to circumnavigate. There was a brief passing of a purple worm that the party very carefully decided to stealth and be as super cautious as possible. You're 99.9% sure you saw Elkvis walking on two legs carrying Union, so he would not clink and clang.
It might have happened.
It might have happened. That or, desert just doing desert things.
Right.
But assuming there's nothing anyone wants to do during this particular long rest,
Just doing my normal stuff.
Neverflame will come back to his study roughly what feels should be about between 5 and 6 early in the morning. Which would be about the time everyone is rousing, as sleep schedules are kind of messed up. Shock horror, I know. And those who are not sleeping. Find him chewing on what looks to be a piece of some kind of like dried meat, still muttering to himself, seeming to make mental adjustments and notes of the illusion that resides on his center table. Which most notably, he'll look to the ever awake Joe. I do hope burning the candle at both ends isn't getting the better of you.
hasn't so far.
I tried that once. I think I made it about a month. Delirium.
You you go through a period of that, but if you just push through, there's also that section of clarity that comes afterwards.
It was nice having those extra hours for study. I will grant that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far along I'll be able to tag with your intrepid band. They're not exactly asking questions, though I guess hoping I will just give answers.
How so?
They just follow blindly as I spun us about in the blasted, probably fourth most dangerous region in the entire world. Somewhere I admittedly haven't been since my 50s. It's a while ago.
Hmm.
This Lich, the one we're trying to meet, he, as I'm sure you might guess, is a little on the eccentric side. Most of us who practice the arcane for as long as we have just kind of comes with the territory, you know? Always one more secret, one more push. I can't promise he's on our side.
Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out.
He will beckon you over to the table and point to a region, more or less right in between the bottom of the H.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone wants to put a proper little squiggle mark or such there.
Yeah, somebody who can see the map.
Are you not able to see the map?
I'm laying in bed.
Still not feeling well. I'm sorry.
No, my back is killing me.
Oh gods. If something should happen, I strongly urge you to go here and who just drew a giant H?
I was doing what was asked of me.
No.
No, a squiggle underneath the H.
I heard draw an A.
I appreciate the enthusiasm of like a perfectly nice straight line, draw tool straight line. Air quotes on that. But was briefly asked what kind of things to worry about. Had we gone the right path, the worms wouldn't have been an issue. Lord knows what else has moved in the time. But my colleague, our colleague, assuming he also hasn't gone mad in the head with promises of power and whatnot, Craft should be found I guess a domicile is a polite way to put that. What you would call his sty. A king of filth, this one. But he will know where our friend has hid away the entrance to his necropolis. Of this much I am certain.
King of Filth. Will I know this person when I see him?
Once you see his horde, I have no doubt you will know you are in his domain. Broken, pitiable things seem to gather and attract to him.
Okay.
I would ask, do not engage hostilities with him. He can be crass, he can be rude, and that's coming from, I know, my gruff self. But his kind are endangered. You adventurers so do like to make your names off of their heads, after all.
Hmm.
I do think I hear your party rousing. At which point, you guys are, and I quote, rousing.
Yeah.
Rousing.
Rouse, 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 rouse.
First thing you hear in your head, Union, is still no caramel apples, my dude.
I'm working on it. Union says this very loudly and out loud. I'm working on it.
I will get a permanent silent spell on you, Union.
I just need it. No, Ridra. Ah.
Oh,
Ridra, you can have an apple too.
try and feed an apple to his ring. I love it. And Arson and Tempest, you arrive soon, eventually. It said, yeah, caramel covered ring. Yep. Stuck with
Unlike
Regia
King
in more
Midas.
ways. Yep.
Unlike King Midas, when instead of gold, everything turns into caramel.
Oh God. True blessing and
Come here,
curse.
Arson.
I will end you.
Fine work finishing the equation. You two.
Give a nod.
Don't think we should tally too much longer. Arson, it is easily noted with your passive perception that there are some note changes on the map, i.e., said marker.
What, the little marker or the giant H?
The squiggle.
Okay.
I'm waiting for Union to delete his H. I'm not doing it for him. The H is his shame, not mine.
The Eternal H stands at... Revoke Lathander, swear to the Eternal H.
Duly noted, Paladin.
Oh, jeez.
Do clerics get disintegrate?
If you ask for it. Good old wish.
I can't find an erase tool.
Can you not click it and hit delete, or you're not on an actual
Draw a
keyboard?
bigger H. Is that what you said? Okay.
I got you.
No way, I can do it. No, no.
You get rid of the rest of that.
There, it's gone.
Yes, indeed. Anyhow, breakfast nommed. I'm assuming nothing anyone wants to do in the morning other than get on the road. Air quotes.
We're on the road again.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Mostly want to try and just find this lich and get it taken care of.
Alrighty. Out into the eternal night you step. Airflame clearly trying his damnedest this time to keep the same pace as he had the night day air quotes before. But it is not hard for particularly Arson and Kotar to note. Physically speaking, he is struggling.
Short little legs and all that.
It's not even just his legs. His physicality is beginning to sink in. You know, there's a if not for the goggles, you're pretty sure his eyes are bloodshot. That kind of struggling.
Yeah.
So who would like to attempt the survival check?
Wisdom-based character? I've done a lot of rolling tonight, but
I'm not
Guide
wisdom.
you.
okay, never mind.
All right. Don't know why there's extra squiggles there. It bugs me almost as much as that random hyphen back on the 5 ring sheet.
No, it wasn't the 5 rings. It was the void sheet you made.
That one. But anyhow, random fucking hyphen.
That we couldn't figure out.
Quick deliberation with your elk. You are certain you are heading in the right direction, and several hours later, you begin to find yourselves marching on solid terrain again to Elphus's pleasure and out of sand. You begin to see ruinous buildings as you hear the steady flow of a small river ahead. Breaching inward and getting to the point where your vision can actually make out details. You swear you can see faces poking around corners. None of them seem to stay in your line of sight for very long. Our 15 plus crew perception, you definitely note there is a sizable amount of whispering. It's almost like you can kind of hear what sounds like a game of telephone, where they're passing along and working its way deeper into the not really a town. It's a settlement of some sort. Which soon breaks way, and you find yourselves at the river proper. spanning roughly about 200 feet wide, but you can tell not very deep.
Like this river, or
Every now and then you can hear what sounds like the splashing of someone kicking their way and running across. Again, just out of the reach of your visions. Right, well, guess an escort doesn't hurt. Seem cautiously, like, looking side to side. Everything nudges you all onward.
slow carefulness.
There's a oof, uh, 9 hells as he tries to keep pulling his feet free from the riverbed.
Do you need help?
Would you like a disc?
That was an option.
Yeah, I can summon the disc.
He looks down, and you're pretty sure he's dismayed at having his boots now covered in water and mud.
I will press to his boots and then summon the disc for him.
Okay. Takes only a handful of minutes to cross the river. Again, for you all, it comes barely up to mid calf. It is mildly physically exerting for the same reason, feet sinking into the soft bed. And by the time you arrive on the other side, there is what looks to be a press of individuals just on the outskirts of your vision, several sort of bleeding into it. You see humanoids of various shapes and size, hard to make out details, as everything is this muted gray wash of dark vision. Several of which appear to be missing arms, leaning on dear Lord, Mutt, fucking word. Crutches. That's the word.
That's the word.
Crutches. When you get close enough that details become a little finer towards the ones ahead of you, seeming to build this sort of column and ushering you a very specific route. You can tell they're heavily bandaged. Some are missing pieces of their face covered up with just solid poultices. You can hear Everflame pray something under his breath, ever so softly. Take a hard inhale and clearly attempt to hold his breath.
I'm gonna hold my breath as well, seeing him do that.
Yeah, you don't you know you gotta hold it for 3 hours now?
Nuclear launch detected.
That was a joke, wasn't it?
as you get closer, that's when you realize why he took a quick inhale. There's a sudden slam of putrid, odorous air. A metallic taint that you can taste on the tongue as much as inhale into the lungs. Your eyes begin to catch what looks to be weeping, bubbling pools here and there. Even as you get further and further from the river, more ruined buildings, all of which culminating to a large mound just entering your line of sight. And ever present, the whispers. As you reach the foot of the mound, they all grow silent. Heads turned in almost revenants of the mound. You can see what appears to be a solitary path winding its way up, wide enough for one person at a time. Keyword there, Elkvis. Person.
I will find you apples and summon you back. I will dismiss Elvis. Okay.
Last thing you hear is, I don't want apples from this place. Poof.
Way to sour the deal.
A few of the
A lot of
leprous
feelings.
faces stare out at you.
Well, let's go up this path that I'm sure will not lead to anywhere bad.
That's optimistic.
I try to be.
What's your marching order?
I want the back.
Sure you don't want the middle?
Union would take the front.
If Kotark is adamant on back, Wizards in the middle.
Which of you is first?
Tempest.
Union. Oh.
No, between the wizards. So I mean, Joe somewhere would be behind Arson. So where's Sarah going? Gotta keep in mind that that square would be Everflame, because he's still sitting on the disc. Sarah? Sarah? Did we lose Aaliyah?
I think I fell asleep.
Well, hi there.
I'm awake. What's up?
Glad I was not enthralling enough.
I'm just tired. I'm sorry.
That's right. Deciding marching order up a single person wide path up this mound of filth.
I'd probably try to be kind of close to the front.
Okay. Alrighty. Beginning to wind your way upwards, ever upwards. You see every now and then a gout of noxious fumes pour forth, which are you going to be right behind Union, giving him some space? Because you would be second, Sarah.
Probably give him like 5 feet.
Okay.
Enough to where if something happened, I could try and rush up and grab him.
That would be the case for the majority of the party. A 5 foot gap as best you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. Shoves you there. And probably something like that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly what I wanted. A gout of noxious fumes blows just in front of Joe and just behind Arson. Clearly would have been violent enough to send you flying off the path, giving you fair warning of the threats the path has. By luck dodging the first and making your way upwards, you can hear what sounds almost like chanting down from the leprous crowd that has gathered at the base of the mound. Far now out of sight with the eternal night. Another bout of luck as just behind Union and in front of you, Sarah, a large blast of the noxious fumes, giving you more than enough time to cover your face with your cloak. There's a sting to your eyes as you press ever onwards, seeing the path nearing the top. And once again, just behind Joe and in front of the floating disc, luck is on your side. Arriving at the precipice, there sits a little man on a heap of discarded, broken things. Cookery, pieces of housing. There's various pieces of furniture, but not a single one that isn't warped or ruined in some fashion. As with what appears to be a sort of slanted candle giving a faint bit of light, you see just there about 40 feet ahead of you as you all rise to the summit a man with a oil black beard and very thin wispy hair, a hooked nose, and coal black eyes stares out at you. And that sensation of the hairs on the back of your neck rise again as we fade to black.
Interesting.